Greetings, Tennessee disciples. This is Reverend Kevin McNeil, your interim regional minister, here on at the close of our regional assembly. It has been a wonderful time, a high time in the Lord. And though we're at the close of the assembly and our gathering is over, our connection is not. So I just want to say to all of our outgoing board members, thank you for your service. Thank you for the work that have done in the life of our region. And for those incoming officers, want to say welcome, God bless you, and we are glad that you're here. As we have had this time together in worship and wonder together, want to say thank you to all who worked to make this assembly a success. Dr. Deborah Reed and Joan at the regional office worked tirelessly, hours upon hours behind the scenes to make phone calls and do all the things that they did. Jessica sending out our information. Want to thank you all for all of the hard work. Want to thank Dr. Murray and Anointed Temple of Praise, also Central Christian Church for hosting events and for doing those things, for stepping up, and for the staff at Anointed Temple of Praise for just wonderful effort going above and beyond. Also for those at Central for the work that you all did hosting our Ministers Fellowship Luncheon. Want to make sure that all of you take the time now to breathe, pause, and relax. Breathe, pause, relax. But now new work is in front of us to be done. As I said during the assembly, I believe that the best days for Tennessee region are ahead of us and not behind us because there are a lot of great things coming on the horizon. One of the things that I want to point out as we are moving forward is we are now in the time for our ministers with their submitting applications for 2025 standing. All ministers, commissioned and ordained, must submit a form for standing for 2025. That form can be found on the website at tndisciples.org and be filled out online completely. Make sure that when you fill out the information on the form, that you correctly identify which congregation you are currently a member of. All ministers in the region must fill out the form and have it done. The cutoff date for the form will be December 2nd. So you've got from now until December 2nd to make sure that form is filled out. The guidelines for the General Commission on Ministry for all ministers in a denomination, regardless of your capacity, is that you must be a member of a disciple church, have standing within your region. Ministers who are regional or general church employees, persons in those positions, their standing, is held at GCOM. If you're not a general ministry or a regional minister, then your standing is held within your region, which means in the Tennessee region, you must have standing in your local congregation as a member, and then also meet the requirements of the region, which means in the last 5 years you have taken boundaries training and anti-racism, must be a member of your congregation, and make sure that your form has been submitted on time. The cutoff is December 2nd because the Commission on Ministry needs that time to start to review those forms, to have meetings, to go over and review everything so that we can get standing cards and information out in the early part of 2025. Now, if you're asking the question, does my minister have standing or whatever, I would just invite you to remind them to get their standing information in to make sure that all ministers in your congregation have that form filled out. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us at the regional office, and we will answer your questions directly. I want to also just for a point of clarification, if you're wondering, standing is the way that um, ministers prove that they're fit for service to the church. According to the standards set down by General Commission on Ministry, each region then takes those and um, comes up with the standards for individual region, and then ministers are required to meet those standards. Once those standards are met, the minister is given standing. That standing allows that minister to operate as a fully recognized minister within the Christian Church Disciples of Christ, not just within their region, but across the life and the breadth of our church. Also, with that, if you have ministers who are in or seeking to get into the pension fund, standing is required by the pension fund for members to be active in the pension fund. If a minister is in the pension fund and then loses standing, then their pension credits stop. If a minister does not have standing and wants to get into the pension fund, they must not just acquire, but also maintain standing within their home region in order to enter into the pension fund. Also, for the purpose of insurance, all of our congregations, as well as our regions and our denominations, have insurance policies that cover their ministers and all their church employees. Many of our insurance carriers will not cover a minister for ethics or other things like that if that minister is not in good standing. So ministers must also maintain that proper standing to maintain that coverage for their insurance, particularly if you're covered through Church Mutual or other insurance companies like that. So we want to make sure that all of our ministers are getting their information in. There will be information coming out in the next e-news for ministers that are looking for boundaries training and for anti-racism training if you have not done it within the last 5 years. There are some online options where you can go to take those trainings. Also be on the lookout if you have new ministers who are looking to become like commissioned or ordained. Um, Please make sure that you go to our website, fill out the information on the website, get that information in so that Joan can get it to the commission, so the commission can schedule you a meeting time to meet with the commission to begin your journey and your process. If you're a minister who is currently in process with the commission, you will be hearing from the commission over the next couple of months about meetings for 2025. Um, if you're a commissioned minister wanting to get into ordination track, please feel free to reach out. The commission will schedule time to meet with you to discuss the possibility of you moving from commission to ordination and what steps need to be taken and what things need to be done and what that timeline might look like. As always, I encourage you to take care of yourself, be mindful of your mental health, be mindful of your spiritual health, not just for yourself, but for those around you, to support each other in ministry as we are all members of the body of Christ. Um, as always, I pray for you that God bless you and to keep you, his face shine upon you, and bring you peace, that you are blessed beyond measure.